So, I am on my way to my mother's. I'm probably going to go with Jessica a little bit later or go to Jessica's house. Um, this sun is just like it's messing up my frame. But actually, instead of going to my mother's house first, and you guys can't see me at all because this window. Wow. But instead of going to my mother's house first, I actually do need to go and make a return at Walmart, and I need to go and pick up some vinyl, some adhesive vinyl. I think I'm going to actually do that first. So I will be going to South Boulevard. Let me see the fastest way to get there. I'll probably just do like a cut through. But yeah, I've been having a discussion with Mike. Like we've been on some next level type stuff with just trying to elevate above all negativity and becoming self-sufficient to where we, pretty much rely on self and not have to rely on anything else the system has to offer. As soon as we buy our house, like, it's just like not necessarily going off the grid, but becoming as self-sufficient and learning different things as possible, from growing a lot of our own food, using a lot of our own energy. Definitely plan on investing in solar panels. That's like a big thing. And just trying to lessen our carbon footprint. We still have to drive and everything because we live in Charlotte. It's a big city, but it's still kind of country. So you can't just not have a car here. Public transportation sucks. If public transportation was more reliable, we'd probably use that more, maybe. But biking everywhere is not realistic. But yeah, we are definitely trying to rely less on employment from employers and just working for ourselves. As you guys probably know, I work for myself, but he's still employed by a company. I'm not gonna say their names, but like it's not something that he wants to do. It's not his dream. So basically, we've just been working towards being 100% like entrepreneurs, trying to get him to that point as well. And it's crazy. Like, we have a couple friends, and of course they have to work. Like, I'm not knocking anybody's hustle when you aren't an entrepreneur and you have to work because you have a family to support. I understand mouths to feed, children are not cheap by any means. Shoot, being by yourself isn't cheap. But the fact that some people actually have talent and are entrepreneurs, are trying to be entrepreneurs, and they're not taking the time out to work on their craft, or trying to promote it, and getting their product out there. It's all about brand awareness, advertising, and making customers aware that you're even there. Like, if nobody knows that you exist, then nobody's going to buy your product. And I keep trying to get this through people's heads, but the whole saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you cannot make them drink, like, I definitely understand where that comes from. And it really grinds my gears when people say, oh, well, I don't have this, or I don't have that, or I can't do this, or I can't do that, and they're not trying. It's like, you have to try. If you're not trying, then what are you doing? And it's so many people out here that are not willing to try at all, and then they want to come to you and complain, or they want to be envious when they see you doing good. And those type of people just irritate me. Like, I'm tired at this point. I'm super tired of, trying to say what's right, or, show the right way. Some people are getting it. Some people are definitely getting it. And some people aren't. Some people can't live without the structure of not knowing what's going to happen every day. When you're an entrepreneur, especially the types of businesses that I have, every day is not the same. Like, you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know where you're going to have to go. But for the most part, my routine is inventory, spending time with my mother, spending time with my children, and doing some promotion. And then at that point, it's time for bed. But I mean, of course, I have fashion shows and model calls and things in between. Lana has dance. We have a busy schedule that's set. So it's like, I get a little bit of time to rest, but not much, because of course, when you're an entrepreneur, it's full time. Instead of working 40 hours a week, you're sometimes working 120 hours a week, if not more. It's never really a time when you're not working, because you're doing everything you can to promote yourself. And some people get it, some people don't. I'm not good with rules or punching a time clock. So this type of business is one that's good for me. Like, I love the fact that I can wake up in the mornings and I can do something to better myself or my family directly. I don't have to sit there and work on somebody else's business and growing their empire and making them rich. No, I can work on building my family's empire and making my family rich. That's all I have to worry about doing in the mornings when I wake up. But like, it's a process. It's definitely a process. It's a slow going process for the most part, and it's all about advertising. You have to at least talk to 5 people a day. At least you have to set a goal for yourself. Hey, I'm going to talk to at least 5 people a day about my business. Everywhere I go, I can be in the grocery store, I can be somewhere getting inventory. Someone can say something to me about Junior, and I'll spark up a conversation. Like, something is going to relate back to my business. I don't care if they compliment me on my hair, if they compliment me on my clothing. I'm normally wearing clothing from one of my businesses. If I'm not, I can relate it to my business somehow. So, yeah, it's crazy, but the fact that people just aren't getting it. They don't get it. And especially when it's people that I genuinely care about. Like, it's like, come on, do better. Like, do better. You have to. Because if you don't, you're going to get old. You're going to be complaining about shoulda, woulda, coulda, and how you wish you would have gotten the opportunity to do this, and this when you were younger, and now you're older and it's too late. I'm never going to be one of those I wish people are the shoulda, woulda, couldas. No. If I want to do something, I'm going to actually get up and I'm going to do it. I'm going to find a way to be able to do it. Right now, I may not be able to do a lot of things because my businesses are still growing, and I'm focusing on a couple of them. And I know everybody's like, oh, you should focus on one business at a time. But with me, I have different avenues, and they're all basically similar. So it's like operating one business. It's mainly an umbrella company with little businesses that are under it, and I'm focusing on building those little businesses. But I'm never going to be one of those that have regrets. I can't be. I worked for a company for too long, and I was so unhappy. And in the 2.5, almost 3 years since I haven't worked for that company or worked for any company, well, I've done some part-time work, but nothing major. But in the almost 3 years that I've been working for myself, I have been the happiest that I have ever been, like happiest. And I refuse to be anything but happy. But yeah, I'm on my way right now to go and pick up this vinyl for a pop-up shop that we're doing. So yeah, we're about to prepare doing things for this pop-up shop, and it's all about selling, but you know how that goes. But yeah, so that was my little rant. I didn't realize it was going to be as long as it is, but hey, you got to do what you got to do. But yep, I am about to pull up at the store in a second, so I may bring you guys inside. I may not, depending on what it's looking like. The PGA Tour is in town, and down on this end, it's so much traffic, like around the time for people to head out there, and they basically use the businesses down in this side for a parking lot. Basically, I'm the south side of Charlotte, but yeah, it's crazy. But I'm about to go, so I'll talk to you guys later. I'll link some of my business sites below. I actually started a new clothing website. It's clothing, hair, and accessories, and it's called katanascloset.com. That's KATANACLOSET.com. So hopefully you guys will visit. Let me know what you think about it. And until then, I'll talk to you later.